Get away. Get away. Get away.
Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Talia. If it's your first time here, hello and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome, and please join the family by subscribing. Guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Your support is really amazing. We are on our journey to 1,000 subscribers and we are only left with 200 and something to get there, guys. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So guys, without wasting much of your time, in today's video, this is an interesting one. Remember, I promised you guys about some career guidance and career advice. Like, we are here to inspire each other. Even if you have already chosen a career path for yourself, but this can be very useful to your children or your sibling or even your friends, because you might be in a situation whereby you need to advise someone on what career to choose. So that's what I'm doing here today. I've actually invited a special guest. You have met him before. He was on our previous video last week. So his name is Takuzwa or Butler. He's a master's student in Actuarial Science, and he also has experience, like he's working. He will tell you the details himself. So today's topic, guys, is unlocking success in Actuarial Science. Right, and it's a heated conversation. He will have all the information you want to know. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let us invite and welcome our guest. Thank you for once again agreeing to come and shoot this video. Remember last week I bothered you and you came on a short notice, and this week again you are here. So thank you for always agreeing to support my YouTube journey, and thank you for agreeing to come to today's video so that we can inspire our viewers on a career in actuarial science. So guys, the first point of call, most of us we think they are called actuarial scientists, yet they are called actuaries. So let him tell us like the journey. So guys, allow me to introduce our guest. Let him take us through his journey and let him inspire you. So guys, this is Takuzwa. Taku, the floor is yours. Tell us your name, what you studied, and actuarial science. Like, what is it? We don't even know. Someone is hearing actuarial science for the first time. So the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Tadio, and it's a pleasure coming here. So my name is Butler Takuzwa Masango, and currently doing masters in business mathematics and informatics, which is a big umbrella term, and under that actuarial science for under that, yeah, it's quite a unique master's program. So yeah.
It's actually right. Okay. So Taku, take us through your actuarial science journey. So my first question to you is, what characteristics or skills should one possess to become an actuary? For example, in law, I have to be confident. I have to be eloquent in my speaking, because most of the job is about speaking. I have to be good with my relationship with people, and a lot of other qualities. So you as an actuary, or if you want to advise someone, what skills should they work on to qualify as an actuary?
That's a very, very good question. And there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to what you should be good at, or what characteristics or skills you should have. And the sad part is, even some lecturers or teachers that teach or lecture actuarial science, they tell the same thing to especially high school students. The biggest misconception is you have to be good with mathematics.
Yeah.
And then they say if you're good with mathematics, then you should do actuarial science. Okay? I don't want to say that's a lie, but that's not really everything. Okay? Knowing mathematics is essential, but then it does not tell you or guarantee you that you'll be fine with actuarial science.
Yeah.
But not being comfortable with mathematics, I will guarantee you that you struggle with actuarial science.
Yeah.
So that's how it is like. So mathematics is just like some tools, right? Just what you use to apply. So it's just, of course, you need tools. For example, if you're a mechanic, you need tools to fix the car. But then there's a lot that comes into actuarial science, and more of it is something which you can build, right? It's not like something which you are born with or genes or something. Most one is determination and hard work. That's the biggest one. Okay. So even those that think that they are very good with mathematics, they are smart, they are geniuses, if there's no hard work and determination, you are, I don't want to say you're guaranteed, but then you are likely not to succeed.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
yes, maths is important, statistics is important, but then the biggest is that determination, the discipline, the drive, exactly, which is like, why are you really pursuing this? Because I promise you, it's a tough journey. Yeah. So those are the important things people should be told, especially students that are in high school, that it's a tough journey and you need to be prepared and constantly remind them, like, not to demotivate them, but to remind them like what they are up against.
Okay, that's powerful. What does one need to study in order to qualify for an undergraduate in actuarial science? For example, myself, I did law, and for law, I had to love art subjects. By art subjects, I mean literature, history, divinity, I don't know, something like that. So and languages, right? So in your field of actuarial science, maybe we are talking to a high school student, or maybe to a parent who wants to advise their child to pursue a career in actuarial science. What should they actually inspire their child to? Which subjects does one need to focus on during high school?
Okay, yeah, sure. So you've probably heard about this, that mathematics is very important when you want to study actuarial science.
Okay.
So what should be on your list? The top is mathematics. So of course it depends with the country you are in. I'm from Zimbabwe. There's also advanced mathematics in South Africa. Also, I'm not sure if they have an advanced, but then I'm pretty sure mathematics is part of that.
Advanced, I think it's called further maths, right? It's
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. So yeah, that's, like I said, the most important one. And there are also other, I think they also check with the rest of the subjects. So like just to check the students is not really struggling.
Yeah.
And it's also an issue if you're only good with mathematics and then the rest you are struggling.
So mathematics is the main subject.
Yeah.
So guys, if you want to be an actuary, your first interest should be mathematics. Myself, I actually struggled with mathematics. That's how I ended up doing law, because mathematics, guys, was hectic. But if you want to pursue actuarial science, love mathematics and actually do your best. Okay, what else? Then he said you must also make sure you pass other subjects. Okay, now I want to move on to getting admitted at a university. Let's start here in South Africa, because our viewers mostly are from South Africa. Which universities in South Africa offer actuarial science? Where should one apply if you have knowledge of all of them?
Okay. Yeah, good question. There's actually a couple of universities in South Africa that do have actuarial science, but then there's also some considerations that need to be done when you are picking a university, because these universities, there's a board of the actuarial science in South Africa, and they more like what's the word, like approve universities for some certain exams, which I'll mention later. So some other universities, they have that approval, just can't find the right term to use.
Okay.
So a university can offer actuarial science, but then it might not be accredited. That's the way I was looking.
Okay.
It might not be accredited with the board, but those that do have, it's of course UCT, Wits, UJ, Pretoria, Northwest, I think, as well as Stellenbosch, and I think Fort Hare. So, well, okay, cool. It's good that you went to Fort Hare.
Yeah, Fort Hare.
So,
They only have 5 faculties there, like that university. Anyway, let me keep quiet.
nah, that's it. So, but all these I mentioned, yes, they might offer actuarial science, but then not all of them might be accredited. with the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, I hope you listened. We are talking about which university you should choose to study your actuarial science degree. So first of all, the advice he gave you was, you must choose a university which is accredited by the board. He talked something about the Actuarial Science board. So some universities are accredited. So that's the first thing you have to research on. Then secondly, now I want to ask you a question. Which university do you think is the best when it comes to actuarial science? Which one should our viewer consider first when they are applying in South Africa, basically?
Okay. Well, because I'm a student at Northwest, I have bias.
That's biased.
But it's quite tricky to to make that, because I haven't been to other universities.
Yeah, you only know
So,
about. Okay,
yeah.
take us through.
But then,
the notes, that's fine.
maybe removing that fact that I'm not exposed to other universities, maybe
Yeah.
the lectures and stuff,
Mm.
maybe the important thing to consider will be the number of exams that are offered at the university. Remember, I said universities are accredited.
Okay, are we
So-
talking about board exams or exams
Yeah.
in general?
So, what happens is those board exams, some universities do offer those exams.
Okay.
So when I say it accredited, it's like if you write an exam on the university, the board will what's the word? Approve,
Okay.
right? Or recognize. Exactly.
Okay.
The board will recognize that, yeah, because you wrote that exam at an accredited university, you don't have to write with us. So some universities now, they offer more exams compared to the others.
Okay.
So those that offer more, it's UCT and then VITS and then UP. Those are like the three that offer more compared to other universities. So not knowing the other things to consider, just making a comparison, then that would be the first thing you need to consider.
Okay, that's powerful, guys. I hope you're listening. My next question is: generally, I'm sure you've researched. If not South Africa, where would you advise? Because I always advise my viewers, think outside the box and always be exposed. Even himself, originally is from Zimbabwe. Imagine he chose from his comfort zone, Zimbabwe. He actually considered going outside the country, and he came here to South Africa to study. That's what I also advise you. Don't just limit yourself. Instead of just applying in South Africa where you did your matric and stuff, also think outside the box. You can as well try Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean education is good, guys. Don't underestimate it. I think USET offers Actuarial Science, and it's also one of the best. So apart from Zimbabwe and South Africa, where would you advise our viewers to apply? Which countries, like I know for law it's Canada. So in your field, where would you advise them? Obviously, there are better job opportunities. Which country should they apply to? I'm actually challenging you to apply outside your own country.
Okay, cool. So the first one is UK, United Kingdom.
Okay.
They are like the biggest in terms of actuarial science.
Okay, that's great.
So one interesting fact is actually that South Africa itself, the board of actuarial science in South Africa, does not provide all the exams which you need to be called actuary.
Okay.
So it actually gets some from UK. Like
that's
people that are in
great.
South Africa, they write UK exams. They just administered, all the administration is done by the South African board. So number one would be UK because they have everything there.
Okay.
And then I would say second is South Africa actually.
Okay,
and
that's
then,
great.
Yeah. Then UK, there is Canada, there is USA, and then there is also India. All these countries, they have their own board or their boards.
Okay.
That recognize actually.
So it actually seems like Actuarial Science is a critical skill everywhere. That's a good program. So I would advise you to advise your daughter or your son to actually consider Actuarial Science. Because for example, law, guys, we are limited. Law is limited to the jurisdiction which you studied. For example, I studied South African law. For now, I'm only limited to work in South Africa because I'm only exposed to South African laws. I cannot even go back now and practice in Zimbabwe, of which that's my country of origin. But because I did South African law, it means I have to go back and learn Zimbabwean law, guys. So it's complicated. As for Actuarial Science, it's a critical skill, while this law is not. That's the reason why you should choose Actuarial Science. Okay, my next question to you is, if not South Africa, where would you have done your undergrad? Just a question I'm giving you on a part of God. Maybe if I was like 10 back time, if I ask you which university or which country would you have done your undergrad, would it still be South Africa or would you have considered somewhere else?
So that's still Actuarial Science?
Yes.
Definitely I would have gone to UK.
Okay, that's great. So guys, this just shows you that UK is the best. You have to consider applying at UK. Okay, my next question to you is, how long is the degree? It's a degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long is a degree in Actuarial Science?
So it also depends with which country you are in. Right?
Okay,
So
take us through please.
Yeah.
In brief.
The ones that I know, it's South Africa and Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So in South Africa, it's a 3-year degree, to get a bachelor's degree, and then there's an additional year, which is an honors degree.
Oh, so you mean 3 years, then you also have to do your honors
Yeah.
separately?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
But
understandable.
it's not necessary
To do
Yeah,
honors.
it's a very good thing to do, but then you can.
So you can still get a job with a 3-year degree?
Yes, I actually have friends that started working after 3 years.
So why did you pursue all the way to masters? If you
Well-
if you could find a work with your 3-year degree?
Well, for
Or you
my
love
case,
school too much? What's your
no,
case?
not really. So in my case, remember I said you can still work 3 years, but then the honors is very, very important.
Okay.
So remember, there's also those exams that you can still get on the university. So the good part is for the exams, whilst you are studying for your own modules, if you do well, then you get accredited for or exempted for that exam. When you are working now, you need to do the work. You also need to study for those exams.
Oh.
So that's the biggest factor when it comes to working and trying to write exams. It's the balance between the two. But now when you're a student, you just need to study and do very well.
So I think you did the right choice. So guys, you said firstly, if you're in South Africa, you do the 3-year degree. Then afterwards, you can qualify to work. But if you still want to further your studies, you can consider doing honors, which is 1 year. Then now let's talk about the masters. Masters in Actuarial. I don't know. You said something. What was that?
BMI, business.
Please take us
mathematics,
through
and
your
informatics.
master's journey. What do they consider? For one, maybe you've done your Actuarial Science degree and you're considering to do your master's. What does one needs to consider? What do they consider? Which university offer? Does every university offer a master's in Actuarial Science on the ones you mentioned before?
Okay. So here at Northwest, the masters in BMI, business mathematics and informatics, they do not really call it Actuarial Science, but then, as I mentioned, it's an umbrella term.
Okay.
And then there are some branches, which is you can lean on the Actuarial Science branch,
Okay.
masters. And then as for the requirements in terms of this BMI, generally you just have to do well with your honors, right?
Oh.
Because but then for you to do honors, which is also, this is applicable to almost all universities.
Yeah.
These exams that I've been talking about, they are the biggest factor when it comes
The
to
board
Actuarial
exams.
Science. Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to have a minimum number of exams for those first 3 years before you go to honors, right? It depends with the university. Here at Northwest, they require 5 out of 6.
Okay.
So you have to fail at most 1.
Okay.
Or to miss at most 1.
Okay.
So, like I said, it depends with other universities.
Okay.
Some might say you need to pass everything, everything in the first 3 years, and then you do honors. And then again, other universities, they actually have masters in Actuarial Science. One I'm pretty sure, I think it's UP,
Okay.
Victoria. So I'm pretty sure also they have that requirements that for you to do masters in Actuarial Science, you have to have certain number of exemptions. It's something you just have to inquire with them.
Okay. Guys, I hope you're listening. And she has taken us through undergrad, honors, and masters. Now let's talk about the job opportunities. Okay, how many years is masters? Because in my case, masters is 1 to 2 years, but mostly it's 2 years. In your case, what's the duration of a master's degree in Actuarial Science?
Okay. So as far as I know, remember I'm more based with my university.
Yes, let's just talk about your university.
Our degree is 1 year.
Okay.
Right? And I believe it's the same case again with other universities. I mean, just not 100% sure. But then it will be a 1 year, and then in that 1 year, there are also exams.
Oh,
You might
okay.
get, yeah.
My last question is a master's in Actuarial Science really necessary? Considering that Actuarial Science itself is very hard, because very few people do it, and most people, they actually struggle to finish. I know a lot of people have failed or have changed from Actuarial Science going to another area. So why a master's degree in Actuarial Science, yet the degree itself is complicated? Why would you actually encourage one to study masters, or they should just end it honors?
Well, actually it depends with the person himself or herself. Usually, other than that, you have the opportunity to get more exams. Remember I mentioned that when you're doing school stuff, you can still get the exams. It more has to do with passion. Some people just love school, right?
Okay, why did you pursue a master's yourself?
Oh, mine is more like a special case.
Okay.
If you're familiar with what's happening in South Africa with the Home Affairs rules and regulations in terms of employment for foreign nationals, so I decided to do masters to like at least help myself to put my foot in the industry. So masters is also quite unique. We also
Oh.
have
You're trying to outshine them, right?
well, what I can say is this masters is the best. You will
Yeah,
never see a
at least-
university in
yeah.
Africa with that masters.
Yeah, I get you. And I actually know, I don't know anyone who actually have done a master's in Actuarial Science. So you're actually one of the few people. So it's good. So my last question before we end, take us through the work experience. Because I know you are working right now. So take us through like how is the work industry? Because for example, in my case in law, actually studying law is actually hard because our textbooks, they are so huge. You have a lot of case law to study, a lot of practicals like going to moot courts and stuff. But when you go to the work field, it's actually much easier from my own point of view because I once did an internship long back. So the working is more practical and is better than the studying. So yourself, firstly, did you enjoy your studying as compared to the work industry? And how is it? Is it hectic or more hectic than studying, or it's actually better? Take us through the working journey.
Okay, cool. So I should say the work is complex. It's not simple, but then because you have spent all these years, then you are prepared. You have the skills to do the work. And then if you were to compare between school and work, definitely there's less. I don't want to say work because you're at work, but
Yes.
yeah, it's like
Okay, at
the
least there are no
struggle.
exams.
Yeah, the struggle is less when it comes to work. Okay.
I
Of
enjoy
course, there's
working.
still, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's a good environment, and then there's, of course, they differ with different companies. Mine offers the hybrid, so you can actually just go to work once a week, and then
Okay.
the other 4 days you can work from home. So
One thing which I don't understand, guys, we are talking about Actuarial Science, right? And I know a lot of you are on the same page with me. What do you guys actually do? What's the science in Actuary? What's this? What's your job description? Honestly, I don't know, guys. I just know
Yeah.
it's a fancy job, but what do you guys do?
yeah, so that's probably I should have started with that.
What do you do?
So what actuaries, I was about to say actuarial scientist. I think it's also proper to say that. It's just the formal term to say actuary. Basically, wherever there is risk, this is the explanation I give to anyone. Like
You deal with the risk.
wherever there's risk, we can have an actuary there.
What kind of risk?
So any type of risk. I mean, why actuaries are so essential in our daily living is because almost everywhere there's risk, right? So you see that actuarial science, they are found in insurance companies. They are also found in investments or maybe funds, trusts. They are also found in banks, right?
Okay.
So basically, the more formal term will be actuaries. They analyze risks, right? And then they use some mathematical and statistical tools to analyze that risk. Then they analyze that risk using the past data, like history. Okay, and then when they apply that, they analyze risk, they quantify that risk, or like put some value to that risk, and then they look for some mitigation measures or some solutions to manage that risk, right? So of course this is like more deep or more formal.
But that's interesting.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, they can work in insurance, right? People do have
Insurance.
insurance, they insure their houses, they insure their cars, right? Everything. Actuaries do calculate the premiums, they do calculate the probability of claims, people claiming. They also calculate in banks, right? Is this person worth to give a loan, right? Will this person pay? Or will this person default, right? So you see how they do. As well as investments, if you want to invest in stocks or something like that, they look at those risks and then quantify and then advance.
Okay, so last question.
Yeah.
What kind of organizations, department, or sectors do you guys fall under? For example, maybe you can give us a few examples where you'd actually apply for a job. Maybe there's someone who's finished their degree in actuarial science, they don't know what to do. What can you actually do? Where can you apply? Which sector, which field, which companies, wherever? I don't know.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so there are insurance companies, and then basically the insurers themselves. In South Africa, you have Actuarial, which is one of the biggest ones,
Okay.
and all other insurance companies. You'll find actuaries there. And then there's consultants.
Okay.
And then with the big four, EY, Deloitte, KPMG, and PwC, you can work there as well. And then there are banks. Almost
banks.
every bank, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
That's
pretty sure every
interesting.
bank is an actuary, right? And then also this can be applied to reserve banks. You can find
Okay.
actuaries there. And like I said, also on investment companies or trust funds, in managing those trust funds, you can also be there.
That's interesting. So guys, not us just telling you what you need to study. We have also plugged you with where you can actually apply for a job. Thank you so much for taking us through the actuarial journey, and I hope you guys are inspired. So what's your last words of motivation to our viewers out there?
Cool. So I would say, after having said that it's difficult and stuff, especially to young people, it's good to take risks or to go for something which you want to do, right? In as much as we might say it's a tough journey or something, it's good to venture into that and see, get the experience, and if you decide that you do not like it, I mean, it's not like you're in 80s or 90s, you can still do something. Then what's very important is the exposure. So for me, of course, I focus with actuarial science, but then there's a lot of things I like learning from other fields. So that learning curve or the experience is very important. So don't be afraid to venture into something just because someone said it's difficult.
Thank you so much. I hope our viewers who are listening, this is very powerful, and I hope this video was very useful to you. So guys, once again, don't forget to like, to comment, to share, and to subscribe. Please encourage them to subscribe, please. We're on our journey to 1,000.
Sure guys, please leave a comment, like, share, and then click the notification bell so that whenever she uploads new videos, you'll be the first to be notified.
Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.
Bye.